welcome. I want to tell you a story today. And what's fun about this story is that I don't know what it is yet. We're gonna pick a book here. I just randomly picked the book off the shelf, and this is Murakami's Norwegian Wood. I have not read this. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna pick 3 or 4 random words from this book, and I'm gonna craft a story for you on the spot, and I'm gonna put you to sleep with this random story. Maybe I'll give you a very, very gentle massage, but you can listen to my voice. Maybe close your eyes, but I'll be here. Shall we start? I'm gonna pick a random page. The first word I read was sharp edge. Sharp edge. It's page 144. It says almost gone. Oh no. Excuse me, I kind of lost it. But almost gone now was the sharp edge, the chilling sharpness of a thin blade. Second word, shirt. Give it your best shot. Let's pick another one. Okay, well, shopping district. Kichijoiji shopping district. So we have sharp edge, shirt, give it your best shot, and shopping district. Very well. There was once a young woman named Kira. Kira was a tailor. She loved to make clothes from old boats of wool and cloth and give them away. Or rather, she liked to put them aside for herself. She never wore them, but she wanted to have this collection for herself because she was obsessed with improving her skills as a tailor. One day she was sewing a shirt. It was a plain white shirt with black buttons. And for the first time, she felt like she really gave it her best shot. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shirt. She finally felt proud of her work. And so finally, she decided to wear it outside. Well, she put it on and she tucked it into a very loose, big, gray skirt. She went out to the shopping district and she wanted everyone to see her She was a bit cold, yes, but she wore nothing on top besides her white linen shirt. Walking around, she realized she wasn't getting the attention she wanted and she had expected. Everyone was so busy with their own affairs and shopping for their families. Everyone was yelling and bargaining and trying to get a lower price on the fish. A young boy who ran next to her, and Kira was always afraid of somebody making her shirt dirty. It had been a rainy night, and Kira was afraid of all the pools of mud on the ground, and she was very, very, very careful and aware of her surroundings, but it really hurt her. She felt like she did all of this effort, and it was all in vain. She had all of these shirts, and finally she had something she thought she could wear. But none of the young, strapping lads looked towards her. None of the old women looked to her with approval and pride. And none of the old men thought she was a sweetheart, as they always did with the other girls. Kira was astounded. She went back home and she poured herself a whiskey. And she cried. She cried for hours. She had never gotten the attentions of beautiful young men. And now, even with her achievement and she thought an amazing eye for aesthetic, she felt ugly. She felt undesired. She felt pained. She felt so much suffering. She fell asleep and she had a nightmare. A very sharp edge cut her shirt off, and she lay there on the ground, all alone, and everybody surrounded her. "Oh no, young woman, are you okay? Is everything all right? Did someone cut your shirt open? Come, let me give you my coat." And the morning she woke up with cold sweats, but a smile on her face. She thought this felt like a nightmare, but it is a great idea. With a newfound resolve to get the attentions of everybody in the town square and the shopping district, with her head up and her clean shirt, she went down the street, again in the market. She was amidst a very, very huge crowd. Everyone was, again, the city was bustling and hustling. She finally took a small knife she held in her skirt. And she cut her shirt open while a small child was running right beside her again. He didn't do anything, the child, but Kira screamed, "Help, help, my beautiful shirt, it's torn open." That child didn't catch him. A few young men came around and tried to help her, But he couldn't help but notice Kira was not crying. It looked suspicious. They looked towards the child, and the child was standing there. He didn't even try to run. With tears in its eyes, it said, Mistress, mistress, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I don't even think I touched you. Everyone looked at Kira, disappointed. Later on, she found out that this was an orphan who lived there in the shopping district. He was not a rich child, but he was kind. He helped everybody with their groceries, especially the old people. Everybody loved him, and no one thought that he would do anything to hurt a person, much less so a young lady. Well, people knew, and they started cursing her. You're supposed to be a respectable woman. Get out with your lies. With a look of shame on her face, she had realized what she had done. Her desire for attention made her into what she had always hated, made her into who she remembered her father as, a despicable figure of ego, of malice and pride. And she had always been this. This was just the peak. She could feel her entire being dissolving as she spent 7 nights and 7 days crying in her bed, almost not leaving her house. Well, one day she was tired of this. She couldn't continue her tailoring. No, it only made her feel worse. She threw her clothes away on the street. She didn't have any matches left, so she couldn't burn them. But she threw them there anyways. She couldn't even bother dumping them in the streets. The very same afternoon, Kira went out to go buy some apples, and she saw that on the street the clothes had disappeared. That was weird. Well, she had more clothes to throw away, so she did. She threw the rest of the clothes there, thinking, well, obviously someone is throwing them away, is getting them, is taking them, so might as well. Why do I have to bother dumping him in the dumpster? And again, the very next morning, all of the clothes she had thrown away had disappeared. That afternoon, Kira went out again for apples and eggs and cheese. And a swarm of children came over her and around her, saying, "Thank you, mistress. Thank you, mistress. The winter is so long. You've helped us so much." She was confused, so confused, standing in the middle of the shopping district. Oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? She noticed the gaze of old men and women smiling at her from every storefront, from every merchant on the street who was looking towards her and nodding their heads in approval. "But mistress, you put clothes on our backs, and they look so great. Why are you not selling your clothes?" Kira was speechless. She couldn't believe her ears. She couldn't believe her eyes. She felt a tingling sensation on her back. Was this what kindness feels like? She thought. She was stunned. She couldn't smile nor cry. She couldn't believe what was happening, but the children were so happy and her clothes fit them so well. And then she saw him, the young boy who she had accused of ripping her own shirt with a sharp blade, her best effort in the shopping district. He smiled at her and nodded before coming towards her. And he looked up at her and he said, "Mistress, can you teach me how to tailor clothes like you do? My mother would really appreciate." "That is my stepmother. I will be your apprentice." She fell to the ground crying. She had won the respect of everyone around her, and by mistake, what a lesson she had learned, if only just. And then she felt a hand on her shoulder. She looked up and she saw a strapping young man. He held her up. They looked each other in their eyes. He had a short beard and a messy curly hair, black curly hair. He said, "You did this for the children?" "Well, yes, I did," Kira said. He said, "Well, that makes you more beautiful than any woman I have ever seen in the shopping district." Well, 3 weeks later, that young man helped her build her own clothing shop. She was one of the most popular and successful tailors in all of the land. And of course, all of the clothes that her apprentices made and all of the clothes that she felt like she could spare, and even just some extra clothes she made in perfect condition, she gifted to the children of the shopping district, the ones who help do not steal. They could find work with her as well. She paid them well and fed them well. She later married the curly-haired boy, and they had a family. And so, that's the story of Kira, the young tailor. I hope you have a great night's sleep.